What's happening? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are back. It is Magic Room Mondays, man. We took last week off because, it was a holiday, Labor Day. But I'm back tonight with two episodes. And, it's all about bringing entrepreneurs, business owners, tastemakers, artist managers, which I got tonight on here to communicate with everybody. They're going to answer some questions. That's what it's all about, is anybody that's creating magic in their field of expertise. That's who we got on the Magic Room. So you guys stay tuned for it. Yes, and there she is. That's my special guest. I've been telling you guys, Miss Lonny Lee. What's happening?
Oh, not much. Same old story.
Hey, you and I was just discussing before we came live that we both got this little allergy thing going on. So we apologize, y'all, if we sniffling and all that stuff. We good. Ain't no COVID over here. We just got allergies. So listen, I'm so excited to have you on here tonight because you and I are going to be discussing a topic that needs to be discussed, and I just want to say this first and foremost because I get asked all the time about artist management. I did few years back manage an artist, but it really wasn't at a level of where we did much because sometimes the artists just feel like the manager is supposed to do everything, and we're going to discuss all that tonight. So with that being said, I'm just excited to have you on here. Not only that, you my home girl too. You know what I'm saying? We become real cool, and I love your son. So give us an official introduction.
Well, I'm Lonny Lee. I actually been managing my son for the last 2.5 years, off and on with other artists as well. I'm just managing him right now. He's my only artist. I have written a lot of songs, did a lot of ghostwriting, a couple of things here and there, managed a couple of other artists. I'm not gonna name drop because you know how people are.
Right. Totally understand. I get it. So
they'll know.
Right, exactly. So to give people a little bit of background and history, like you said, we ain't gonna talk about, necessarily who you worked with, but I just really want people to understand your history within this music business of what you've done that brought you to where you are today.
Yeah, I used to be an artist myself.
Okay.
So what it's hard to manage an artist. I realized when I was an artist and I had a manager, my manager knew nothing about singing, writing, dancing, choreography, artist development. They just said, hey, we got a little money we're gonna put behind you. You can sing, you could dance, you can write, let's do something. And I was manager.
So it sounds like I think what happens, not to interrupt you, but what happens with a lot of artists is they have somebody managing them that maybe understands business, but they don't understand what it is to be an artist. So it's kind of hard to manage them if you've never done it before. But go ahead.
It really is. And that's why that's why I really got back into management with my son, because I had stopped for a while. One of the artists that I was managing, he passed away, and it kind of took me a little back. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this no more. The rap game was getting so congested with poison and content just unrealistic. And till I realized that my son had a gift, which artistry is a gift.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Teach it,
I
so
agree.
I it's a lot of artists right now that are super famous that have momagers or had momagers. You got like the Jackson Fives,
Yeah.
Beyonce and Solange, Usher. Biggie's mom didn't manage most of his career, but she wrote a lot of sign-offs for him. She had a little bit going on in his background, his back office. Waka's mom, K Camp. It's a lot of stuff that we go through as managers, managing our own children.
Absolutely.
Separate the relative part with business, which is so hard. Artist is a teenager still, so it's really hard. But me getting back to what we was just talking about of me being an artist, knowing what it takes to be an artist, it helps me a lot kind of mold him and put him in the right direction, because I know sometimes if he feels like he's overworked, and I feel like he's underworked, we're gonna bump heads, you know.
Absolutely. Listen, I agree. I think that happens, just in a lot of business relationships, period, when there's, somebody maybe overseeing someone's career. And I always have been a fan of momagers because, you've raised that child, from birth until whatever age that they are. So you understand the direction that you need to go with them. Sometimes you might need to push a little harder in this area than rather than in this area, so I think that it's always a great thing as a mother that you can, not only you've raised your son, but now you can manage his career as well. I interviewed him a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, month ago, something like, I don't know, I lose track of time.
Yeah.
And, it's so dope that you're involved the way you are, because even like, you guys came out to the CX1 DJ music conference and you were there front and center supporting him. And I just absolutely love that. So I just really want to jump in and get into, like, as they say, the meat and potatoes of this, because I myself have a lot of questions and there may be some people that tune in. In fact, let me go over here to the comment section. So yeah, there's people already saying hey to you right now.
Hey guys.
So if you guys have any questions, and try to keep it, towards what she could answer as far as like management, because I'm going to ask some of the questions that I get asked by artists, or I think that our artists need to know. And if there's something I don't cover that you guys want to know, feel free to drop that question in the comment area and I'll put it on the screen for everybody to see. So I'm just going to jump right on into it. One of the famous questions I get asked all the time is, will you manage me? And like,
especially you.
Right, because I know so many people. And that's the thing. I guess they feel like because I've got so many resources and I know so many people, which, is true, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a good fit, because there's so much more to it. So the thing that I'm going to ask you first and foremost is, and this is maybe kind of a broad question, but you could probably answer it. At what point should an artist be seeking artist management?
I think artists should be now. Okay, we're talking now, because when I, like literally 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it was like night and day now from 2021. So now I'm just actually learning the game again. Like I got to redo everything again, because
Right.
social media and just the way people are making a revenue, as far as this music. But I had a brain freeze.
No, you good. I'm up here trying to clear my throat.
I'm a mama job. Let me stop. So your question again, because I literally had a brain freeze.
No, you good. So, my excuse me, my question really is like, at what point should an artist start seeking management? Because, and I'll elaborate a little bit on that to maybe help you answer. I'll get artists that'll come to me and they'll say, will you manage me? And I might take a quick peek at their social media and they might only have 200 followers. They haven't released but maybe one song. And I don't see them posting that they're doing anything. Like maybe they might post a couple selfies or something. So it looks like they don't have anything. So in their mind, they see someone like myself who is connected in a business and they feel like, oh, well, if she manages me, I'm going to pop off. You know what I'm saying? So, but they're not ready for, I don't feel they're ready for management because they have nothing for me to manage. You know what I'm saying? So, so elaborate on that a little bit.
I'm with that. And also it's a nook and cranny to that, because then you have your Drakes that had 1 million no's, you know what I'm saying? To where they thought they was doing everything. Like you said, oh, I'm doing all the posting I can do, but I only got 200 followers. But, my postings get 35 views. So sometimes I'll look and see the stats. So say, for instance, if you have 5,000 followers and you come to me and go, hey, can you manage me? Because I get that too. A lot of people ask me, hey, can you manage me? You go hard out there, this and this and that. You coming out the mud. I do a lot of groundwork.
Right.
And I look at their material And a lot of times, and it's sad to say, but a lot of times I could already see the vision and go, me personally, Lonny Lee, I don't think that's productive enough for this time and era. It doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't
Right.
mean it's not good for this part of, but me, it's not good enough for me. So I can't do it. I actually told my son, no, I couldn't manage him.
Mm.
He brought me music because he didn't have views, his music, the quality wasn't that well, and he only knew how to write songs. Until he learned how to make the music, and you can bring me something other than you just going into a studio and recording, and that's all you got, I wasn't gonna manage him. I
Right.
You need a manager, and this is to all the artists that's watching. I really don't think you need a manager until you actually do your own marketing. Until
Mm.
you actually, yeah, because I'm telling you, if you have someone do your marketing, you will never get this industry at all. I'm
Facts.
I'm learning it on my own right now. And promo is big now.
It
You know,
is.
you don't get no promo and you don't do that on your own and you don't get out there and get in the mud and get dirty on your own, you're not going to know anything. And then it'll make it hard for the manager to manage you because you don't know anything. A lot of artists get
Right.
managed agents mixed up. So being a manager is being a manager, being an agent is being an agent. And so that's a lot more work on a manager if you want them to be your agent as well. So I feel
Right.
like you need to come with already an act. I feel like
Ab-
you need to come
Absolutely.
already developed, to be honest, because nowadays it doesn't take a lot to make a hit song. So if you
Right.
come developed already, what am I gonna do as so far as looking to develop you into what era? Because the trend changes every 6 months.
That's right.
So if I develop you for 2020 in September, by the time we get into 2022 in February, I have to redevelop you again.
Right. Absolutely. Because, like you said, the trends and just the business itself is always changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As you said, you had to really kind of relearn some stuff because from when you were an artist until now, I'm sure you've seen a tremendous amount of change. I know I have since I've been in this business.
I've seen tremendous amount of change when I was in the business. 2014, 15, Young Ma and all of them was coming out. We was trying to work the field. Um, it was crazy because it didn't take a lot of money to show somebody what you got. But
Right.
right now as a manager, and I don't just want to say this because he's my son or my client, because he's my client as well.
Sure.
um it's really hard for me to produce a product to somebody that already has a product. That if I come to you, say you the plug, I come to you and I go, hey, um Tampa, I need a plug on X, Y, and Z. And you like in your mind, like, shoot, I got something I gotta plug into X, Y, and Z. I don't want to cuss, but I F with you. So at the day, I have to you have to put us first. So you gotta
Right.
put your product first. So a lot of times I come in the door, I already know I got a good product. People know I'm consistently promoting Drew Fazo because that product to me, and I call him a product, he hates it, but he's my client. He's my
Yeah.
I call him a product because it's nothing like him. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I'm going so hard for him in the paint, because it's nothing like him. And when I come into a studio session with someone else that we have combined, or even going to a meeting as far as, Drew Fazo doing business, a lot of people are so open to the meeting until we get there. And they sit in with him because I never go to meetings without my artists. I always bring them. They have to be on the front street. They have to do the talking.
Absolutely. Because they're going to learn more that way.
9 times out of 10, they're 100% with it until I get to the table and they go, dang, this product is a little bit too good. I'm gonna have to get back a little bit. I'm gonna F with y'all, but just let me get this stuff out of my pocket closet real quick, and then I'm gonna F with y'all. I'm used to that, and I'm willing to.
Right.
I'm gonna drop names too because I'm a momager. Once I get over the age of 40, I'm gonna tell it like it is.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely. Like
you
you,
know.
as you should, because people respect that more.
Mm-hmm.
just say it like it is. People are going to respect that. And if they don't, then that makes you know, okay, that's not who I need to be doing business with.
Yeah, I mean, we fight, me and Drew. We fight. We fight about every song he drops because he goes, "Mom, don't critique it as a manager. Listen to it as a person." Because
Yeah.
I really critique everything to the point where I was like, "Oh my God, that's distorted. Oh my God, that word was distorted." And my ears start going into music arranging, and I'm like, I done lost the fact of the genius way that he came up with this song.
Right.
So he's teaching me, I'm teaching him.
Right, you guys learn together, and that's really what it's all about. Is both of you guys have to be on the same page, and both have to be willing, because as we've just been discussing for the last 5 minutes, is that this is an ever changing business. Just even probably in the last 2-3 years, things have changed a lot. We're in a completely digital streaming era, so like you said earlier, people, you have to get your marketing and your promo game together, because like you said, your son is your product. It's
Yeah.
no different
Right.
than when a car company comes out with a new car, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
That's their product. You got to advertise it,
Yeah.
even if people are familiar with the brand. If you got something new, you got to advertise it. You got to get that marketing, you got to get that promo going behind it. So it's no different as an artist. So it's just artists, make sure you have something for someone to manage before you go. And this is the other part of that question that I'm going to ask you. When an artist comes to me that I'm not familiar with whatsoever, I have no idea who they are. Maybe they've been following me on social media and stuff like that, and they ask me to manage them. I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to manage someone that I have zero relationship with. In my opinion, and this is what I'm going to have you answer, I think it's better to bring someone on board that you actually have a relationship established with, that you can trust, and that actually believes in your brand, and etc. So talk to us a little bit about that.
I believe in that a lot. I've managed a group actually in 2014. I helped manage a group. They were called, uh, honestly, it's sad. I don't even remember their name, but they was individuals.
Yeah.
But that, but it was six of them, and everybody had to bring to the table something, like you just said. Now, some people brought more to the table, but in the same content, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I would have to pick. It was just like, who's gonna sing the first verse type, and it's just like, come on, man. I can't, if I don't know you, I don't trust you, I'm not gonna give you my Rolodex. I,
Right.
I work hard for knowing that you could just take off and go wherever and do whatever. I have to protect myself too. Same
Mm.
product now, Drew Fazo. I tell
Yes.
him the same thing. He knows everything I know. If I learn something and I don't teach him, I'm a bad momager, not a bad manager. You get what I'm saying? Because he gets a different type of privilege, because that's my son.
Right.
And I'm going to protect him 100%.
Of
Now, if his
course.
wasn't good, guess what? We wouldn't be talking right now, because I wouldn't be managing him. I'm his
Right.
enough. Yo, get a day job. That's
And
not,
he's so fire, y'all. Like, so, and I'm not saying that because his mom's
yeah.
on the line. Like, I really support this dude. Shout out Jufezo.
But if he wasn't fire, I would tell him he's not fire. I have told him many songs he brought me, yo, that song's whack. I can't do it. And he's like, come on, you're not getting the big picture. And then I gotta go and do 3-4 hours of my own work, streaming other people his age from 5 years above to 5 years under. This is how I do my research. I
Yeah, got
to me,
to.
he'll say something to me and I'll say, I don't think that's right, but I'll stop myself. Let me go check it out first. I'll go 5 years above, 5 years under of his age group and see what they're all doing. I'll go from the top charts to the bottom charts. I'll go to the ones that's doing their own promo to the ones that have big companies doing their promo. And then
Right.
I can go, you were right. Okay, let me listen to the song again. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Yeah.
said it's a big deal. And like, I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of people get angry at me because I say, I don't know you. I don't know
It's
you.
nothing personal, but to protect them, how do they know they can even trust me or trust you if they don't know us personally, you know?
You gotta get budgets. If you don't get budgets, if you don't get investments right now, to be 100% honest, I'm not taking no investments. So my budget is weary, because he is so good at what he does that when you think about investments and the things that they're asking you on this black and white paperwork to get back, I'm like, listen, I don't need the front money.
Right.
I don't.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Artists you do, but this artist I don't. So I'm gonna go from the ground up.
Yes, absolutely. And your son is, he's still young, so he's got plenty of time, for you guys to really be able to. It's not like, he's starting out and he's 40, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you're like, time is ticking, he's still a teenager.
Yeah, he's a teenager, still a teenager. So, and I always tell him, rep your age, yo. And the good thing is that me as a momager, I can put my insight on content. Me as a manager, I used to manage artists that was actually paying me a fee because I didn't even understand what a manager was at that time. I was being an agent. Listen, I'm gonna go and do this. We're gonna break off each other with this. We're gonna book some shows here, whatever the case may be. You used to see me out there all the time. I'm running the streets, And at the end of the day, I was getting nothing from it. And they wasn't. And so I had
Right.
to reevaluate and go, yo, am I really helping them? Or am I really not helping them? I don't have a problem
Right.
with saying I failed. I failed with a couple of, my artists because I didn't get to manage them properly because I was still learning at the same time, trying to help everybody because I was an artist that had songs stolen from me that I heard other places. I had, people just walk all over me. You know what I'm saying? Because they had the bag and they was like, oh, if you don't do it the way we say, then get out,
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm
money
sure that
don't move me.
happens a lot, like what you were saying, I'm pretty sure that every good manager out there had a failed experience, because it's like with anything, we get better in time. You just got to be consistent at it. So it's like, I think we've all had those type of experiences, like I even go back and listen to some of my first interviews from like over 10 years ago. And I was like, yeah, it was cool, but it's with practice, you get better at it. So I want to, so I heard you mention something, what we were just talking about, and that's actually going to lead into my next question. But just to elaborate on that one, Lonnie and I both agree that if you're an artist seeking management, make sure, number one, that you guys have something for them to manage, already have something going on. Number two, try to get someone who you already have a rapport or a relationship with. Reaching out to a total stranger is not it, because I'm pretty sure 99.9% of the time they're going to tell you no. And then you may get offended, but it's nothing personal. So the next question I have for you is contracts. Now, if you get to the point where you're like, yo, this artist is dope, we built a relationship, I think I'm going to go ahead and manage them. Talk about the importance of having that artist on contract with you, because I remember an artist that I was managing before and we didn't have no paperwork in place. And one of my elders, one of my OGs said, nah, you might want to get a contract, because if he blows up, he going to be gone in the wind and you ain't going to get shh. You get what I'm saying? So talk about that.
He probably blew up too.
He did okay, you know what I'm saying? But he was gone in the wind, and where's Tampa? You know what I'm saying? So
Miss Momager, I had my son actually sign a contract at 16 years old.
Okay.
Copyright, everything.
Mm.
I had the contract notarized. Like I'm doing business at the same time. I'm realistic. Money moves and changes people when you don't want them to.
Right.
So I'm saying I don't trust my son because I trust him with my life.
Right. Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, when you're dealing with kids, they have to understand what paperwork is first, because people get offended when you do a little work with me and then I drop. So I done work, like you said, with artists, and we'll go book a couple of shows. I'll make my little money. They make their money. Then I'll come to them and go, okay, so we did a trial run. So here's the paperwork. Oh my God, everything changes.
Yeah.
The persona, the facial expressions, it all goes. So you don't trust me? And I'm looking like, hey, so when the IRS writes you your check, you got to give them your social, right? That's all I got to say.
Right. At the end of the day, it's not personal, it's business.
With Drew Fazo, I need to get paid. He knows that.
Facts.
A lot of times I talk about stuff, I go, yo, that's not going to make me money. I need
Right.
to get paid. We have to be able to have that conversation so that no one's feelings will get hurt when it comes to paperwork. Paperwork is very important, y'all. If you don't, you know what? Juface was so smart. One day he came to me with a contract and said, "Yo, you need a disclosure contract. I disclosure contract for you because paperwork is everything." You know what I'm saying? And I have no problem with it. I'm like, "Oh,
Right. That's your legal grounds that you have to stand on if something
exactly.
were to ever happen. Cause, like you said, you trust your son, you love your son, and it may not even necessarily be between you guys. It may be a contract between you guys and someone else that you need to have in place to protect both of
Oh,
you.
let me say something really quick, not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I came up in a situation where Universal, one of the artists I was working with, right? And we didn't have a contract. I had just met this artist. I was just trying to get a finder's fee real quick because I was working ground up. We trying to get the
Yeah.
bag, you get the bag. You know what I'm saying? Legally and correctly, but we're trying to get the bag. So I said, all
Right.
right. Well, Universal comes and goes, hey, our umbrella company wants to make sure this person has legal papers with somebody so we could buy them out of their record label. That's the only way we could do the contract. Guess what? I didn't have a contract with that person.
Mm,
I effed up because we didn't have a contract. I brought
right.
attention. We went to New York. We came back, and they was like, "So, where's your contract with him? How long you been, managing this person?" I said, "Well, I don't have a legal contract that I could give you right now." And they was like, "Oh, well, we looking for another umbrella company to go under this umbrella company because it's all a gimmick, a act. So we don't,
Right.
you don't have no paperwork." So paperwork is
Not,
very important. It protects both people. It protects the artist and the manager. And I only do contracts that's maybe 2 pages, 3, and the most. I don't do those 10-page contracts.
right. Cause nobody's going to read all that. And, the one thing that I stand by is in life, period, not just music, but in life, this will help people out is learn how to be proactive rather than reactive. Being proactive is going to put you in the right positions and you won't miss opportunities because if they come to you and say, hey, we want to offer this to you, but you got to have this in place and you don't have it, it might take you a month to get all that legal stuff together with an attorney and everything. By then, your opportunity is missed. So definitely learn to be proactive, and it's just lessons learned.
Yeah. Everybody's a needle in a haystack right now. People are fighting to get to the top. And a lot of money's being thrown around in this industry that don't even have nothing to do with streaming. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother segment. That's why I said the momager is gonna come out that I know all the behind scenes. So y'all gonna be watching my segment on YouTube. I'm gonna send you the link.
Yeah, I think you should. You start your own little vlog
Oh
or
no, it's just gonna be one nice hour-long stretch of me venting. She is a mess.
So my next question is this, and again, this is an important topic because I know a lot of bigger managers in the business. One of my great friends, shout out TJ's DJs, he's a manager of B.O.B. and he's the manager of Trap Beckham, and that's my dog, man. And he talks a lot on social media, along with a few others, but I think a lot of artists have the misconception of what a manager's role is. Your role is not to be their personal bank.
Nope.
Talk to them about that.
Okay. So a manager's role is and I'm gonna put it in Ebonics. So a manager's role is kind of like Walmart. You go and you meet up with the cashier first, you get on your money. If you don't like what's happening at that time of exchange, meaning the work has already been done, they already shopped, they already bought the product. So that means we did the promo, talking music wise, and
Right.
we spent the money. If there's a problem, the manager just comes and signs on a dotted line, whether it's good or bad. We are not here. That's why I said managers and agents are two different people. We're not here to run your whole promo. We're not here to babysit you, to buy your wardrobe, to pay for studio time that you're not gonna go to. We're not here to take all your photos and pictures and things like that. If we don't have a team, we're not here for that.
Right.
Managers supposed to make sure that we're really just overseeing everything that's being done by you. Like we talked about earlier, when you come developed, we are overseeing the decisions that you make and making sure those decisions are correct.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Right. Absolutely. So artists,
That's
it's
all
not
we're doing.
your manager's job to fund your career.
No.
It's certainly not it's their job to manage your career.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really deal with artists that don't fund their own career, because that tells me how serious you're not. If
Nah,
you
for real.
and it's like at church at the collection. If you ain't willing to put up 30% of whatever you're earning, I don't care whether you made it before you got to me or you made it as we went along on this road, on this journey. If you're not willing to spend 30% of whatever you made, I don't even want to deal with you.
Right. You need to each month as an artist, figure out what you can afford because we all got bills to pay. You might have rent, a car note, car insurance, may have kids or whatever, So it's like once all that stuff is taken care of, figure out how much extra money you have each month, whether it's, $100 or $500. And if it means you got to quit smoking weed or whatever it is to be able to put money in your budget, then that's what you need to do.
Hey, everybody that you touch, everybody, close every chapter with a
Yes.
plate, whether you win or lose.
Right. And I'm going to
That's
elaborate. This is actually it's going to be my answer to the question that came up. If you guys ever watch any of my interviews, I say it probably almost every single interview, relationships will put you in places that money cannot. And I'll elaborate what I mean on that a little bit. I've done a phenomenal job, and Lonny Lee has done a phenomenal job over the years of building relationships with people in this business who will do stuff for me and not ask me for a dime.
Yes.
Not that I expect them to do it for free, but they want to do it for free because we've built a relationship. But then I get some people who come to me and they might have money, but they're a jerk and I don't want to deal with them. So those relationships will put you in places that money cannot. So that's we had a question that came in. It says, building a good relationship with people is key in the business. How important is to you? It's everything to me. So I'm going to let Lonny Lee answer that as well.
That's everything to me. That's the only way I get around the city. I'm going to be honest. I'm not dropping a bag with nothing that I haven't even built a relationship with, like you said, because how I know that I'm going to get my deposit back? How would I know that I'm going to get my service from you?
Right.
I'd rather deal with you on a personal. People go, don't get personal. No, you want to get personal. You want to get personal. You want to make sure that you have, it's called bargaining. I do a favor for you, you do a favor for me.
Yeah, I listen, I love doing that. Let's barter all day long.
You do a favor for me. Because sometimes, like you said, money can't buy the favor that I could buy you.
Nah,
I can
facts.
call somebody that got to do. Look, you might be somebody running the Galleria. I might know a man that's getting ready to buy a Galleria.
Right.
My favor, I'm gonna call him on the phone right here, right now, for you.
Facts.
And so I need you to do the same thing for me. And that's kind of how I tell people to break me off. Break me off with the same thing I'll break you off with, even if it's a little bit of knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes I ask a question that I already know an answer to, because your answer may elaborate my brain and give me some more fundamentals that'll actually help me in the long run.
That's right. Absolutely. Because those relationships that you build with people are priceless. You can't put a price tag on them.
No.
And I've met
you a lot, Tampa, because of that, because you was one of the only, not the only, but one of the, you really my head female out here that I know now still rocking like you rocking, that have built relationships that people could just say Tampa. We don't even got to say Mystic.
Yeah.
And they know it tells me you have left everything you left, whether it was good or bad, with a clean slate. And that's hard to do as a female, because this game is ran by males. You know what I'm saying? And they're dominant. But to be not as aggressive female, you're not an aggressive come off. You're still very submissive and dainty. It's a lot of women in this industry that are super like, and they feel like they got to do that. And you don't have to do that. And the way you move out here in the streets like you do that, but you don't. And that's what I really look, up to, as far as has to do with you and, some other ladies that I just recently met as well. Oh, no, hold up. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I appreciate it. We're actually going to wrap up here in a minute, because tonight is ladies' night. Just for you guys that are tuned in, at 8:00, I got a really dope female DJ that's going to be talking to you guys. That's another important topic, because a lot of you artists do not know how to properly approach DJs or get your music to the DJs and stuff like that.
And
so at 8:00,
matter. Matter.
It still matters. So
people don't deal with DJs no more. Stop that.
You got to. They're the ones that are out here playing your music. You know what I'm saying? So
records.
With that being said, what would be your last gem, jewel, piece of advice, tip that you could provide, whether it's an artist seeking management or maybe somebody who's potentially thinking about doing management? What would be that advice you would give them?
The advice I would give is always do a blueprint of whatever you want to do, whether you want to get into management or you want to seek management. And doing the blueprint is, what are you bringing to the table? Do a whole blueprint on that. What are you looking forward to in the next 2 years? Because we only do 2-year contracts. Those are only good contracts now. And also, be in love with whatever you bring to the table more than any fan. You have to be your own fan, be your own mascot, because people will follow you when they see that you love what you do more than they could ever.
That's right.
And that's why I love working with Ju Fazo, because this man loves every part of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want people to not just say you could do something because you got the money or the ability. Put the whole effort into it. Do the groundwork, do the social media work, and then go seek the services that you need. Whether you need an artist as a manager, managers go and find artists as well.
Yes.
Or whether you need a manager as an artist. But just kind of like do all the research you need to do on yourself first, so that you could deliver everything that person on the other side of the table is asking for.
That's
And
right.
help them do their job in full. So guess what? When they don't, you can fire them with no problem. You know what I'm saying? Because artists get fired
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah,
You know?
you better believe it. Hey, you better believe it. And we gonna fire some of y'all. Like I have
Yeah.
clients that I will straight up tell them I can't deal with you no more because I do a lot of other stuff now in the business. Obviously, podcasting is my number one, but I do a lot of blogging and a lot of liaison work between the artists and the DJs and things of that nature. But some of these artists drive me insane. They'll hire me for a service, but then they'll turn around and try to tell me how to do it. I'm like, if you're gonna tell me how to do my job before I even started, then we can't work together. Give me a shot.
Yeah, trust the process.
Yes, trust the process. So if any of you guys are tuned in and missed a portion of this at the beginning, it's going to be on my Industry's Most Wanted YouTube channel. Please go back and watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave a good comment. And I want Lonny Lee to close it out with giving your social media. Tell everybody wherever you are at that you want them to follow you and tune in with you. Where can they keep up with you?
Okay, well, you guys can follow me on Lonny, LONNYLEE, Lonny Lee on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and also can follow me at ju.fazo on Instagram, Ju Fazo,
That's right.
Ju.fazo, because I'm
Plug
always
that
on
in,
his
baby.
page, and I make sure that I stay on his page, because like I said, I run the content as well with him, because he's the bomb.com.
He is.
I'm a
He
stay
is.
marketing.
Hey, I feel like he my son too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's so
He
dope.
love you. He love you.
I love him too, man. Like, I think he's a superstar and I really see big things happening for him. And it's so organic.
He is. He don't need no money. He don't need no jewelry. He don't need nothing. Have you ever seen somebody put on a Hanes shirt and make that shit look like, make that look like Egyptian cotton, honey?
Yeah, he look
I'm talking about
good.
he make anything. He make anything turn into something.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't take a bag for him right now. I'm not even gonna front. We had some offers. We had some things going on. He got a little upset, whatever the case may be. But I know what his worth is.
That's right.
I know.
You sure do. You sure do. And that's the beautiful thing about you, not only being his mother, but you genuinely believe in him. So, he's definitely going to go a long way. And I'm so glad that you and I crossed paths with each other. I'm so glad that we've connected. I'm still waiting for us to get our little walk in together.
Here. Thank you. Thank you. And you looking good as always. I got to get in the gym and start looking like you. He got me running around. My bones is old, girl.
Hey, my bones is older than yours. So listen, anytime you're ready to go climb the mountain, you dig, let's go make it happen because health is wealth. You know, we got to keep ourselves young. I appreciate you guys for everybody that tuned in tonight. We're live streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. So anybody that has tuned in on either platform, we appreciate you guys. But we about to get up out of here. Is there anything else that you want to let the people know about before we get out of here?
We getting ready to drop a new song called Cloudy Days. We're gonna drop the visuals to that. That's another thing, guys. Make sure you have about 2 or 3 visuals if you have 7 to 8 songs.
Yes.
Okay. And if you can't do the visuals correctly, don't even drop the songs.
Right. Absolutely.
Gotta do them in formation. Don't even drop the songs. Save them until you get the money to do the visuals correctly. But yeah, we're gonna drop Cloudy Days. The song is hot, hitting. You're gonna see this new teenager with an old soul. All right, that's my new slogan.
I know that's right. Well, listen, y'all. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I'm taking a short break, and I'll be back at 8:00 with my homegirl DJ Tamiko. She's the hottest female DJ coming out of Denver, Colorado. So, shout out to Lonny Lee. Shout out to Jufezo. Shout out to everybody tuned in. This is the Magic Room. We're live each and every Monday on Magic Room Mondays. Y'all have a blessed night.